Welcome to week 4 of our August blog class. And you'll notice Shannon is not here today. She is busy working on scrapbook paper, designing scrapbook paper for you and I to scrapbook with. So we will miss her this week, but 7 more weeks till her wedding. Speaking of next month, we'll be doing 3 layouts, a layout each week with the Detour collection, and I'm hopefully going to get the designer of the Detour collection to sit in with me and you get to meet him. His name's Alex. We'll see if that happens. Anyway, hopefully by tomorrow we'll have that list up and you can get your goods for the class. So I think that's about it. We'll just go ahead and finish up pages 8 and 9 in the back cover, and then you'll have the most darling album ever to put your tea party pictures in. Okay, before we get started, I thought I would just show you the last couple pages of Tara's album. Here her daughter has a cute little wand. So we're just going to do a little punching and use some creative stickers there. And then here her daughter's having some cake. And just the ambiance in that little restaurant that they're at is so cute. And then on the back she's just put a trinket and tied it, so it's just a little label at the back. So we will get started on page 8. You should have this from last week. And we're going to flip it over and work on this page right here, page 8. So the first thing you're going to need is a 3x9 piece of Little Miss Jacoya. And then a 1x9 piece of Little Miss Jacoya. On your 3x9, now remember we talked about you can either put it on and trace it from the back, or you could sand it. I'm choosing to trace it. So I'm going to put it on here, kind of just center it, and then trace with your pencil, and then cut that out. And your 1x9 piece, you'll want to do a border punch on it. I've used this lacy one right here by Martha Stewart, but just, you know, punch that whole piece so it's a border. Okay, and then after you get this piece cut out, we're just going to, it's going to go right on the bottom half. Except for it's on this side. So right on the bottom half there. And then our lace will just go right over top of that. And for my lace, I'm going to leave it the 9 inches, glue it on, and then just trim off the edges because it's a piece of cake there. So there, I'm just bumping it up against. Now I'm going to take the opposite side and just put a border on right here, and then I'll just trim these edges. I know some of you have started planning what you're going to do for photos in this album. Grandma Gigi left us a message and said that there's a quaint little place that she went to, I think in Oregon, and she has the perfect photos for it, so I'm excited to see those. And I'm excited to see everyone's. I want to see what you do with it. I'm sure that some people will make this album and the pictures won't have a cup of tea in it, but it's still going to be so darling. So there, now we've got our border. The next thing we're going to do is from the cutouts, we're going to cut out these birdcage right here, and I want you to cut out not the brown, but right in next to the pink paper. Just like that. And this piece we're actually going to pop up. So put some foam squares on the back of it. We're going to pop that up right there. I'll tell you, I have learned in recreating Tara's album that you really can't have too much dimension. I was a believer that you could, but I'm a total believer that you can't. Because the dimension in this album, I know I've said it before, but it makes me giddy. It makes me giddy. And I don't know if you saw that, but I don't always take all the backing off of my Pop Dots, just enough so it will stick, because it's going to raise it anyway, right? So that's just going to be centered right on there. And now you're going to want 2 stickers, and they're from your cardstock stickers, Sweet Girl. We're going to use this Sweet Girl and this Posing Pretty. And we're going to layer Sweet Girl right on top of Posing Pretty. and then foam square it. Because it's going to go next to this, and we want it to pop up as well. Now on this page, her photo doesn't have a mat, so again you're going to leave that, and you can put any kind of photo you want. Horizontal, vertical, square would work as well. But again, if you are going to want to tuck your photo, then don't take those foam squares off of this side so that you can tuck it under there. And then our last step is we're just going to add this cute little hummingbird from our 12 by 12 chipboard just up here by the birdhouses. There. And then there's that place for your photo. And like I said, you could go a 4 by 6, you could cut it down and do square, anything you want there. And we'll have to punch out that hole that we covered right there. That's it for page 8. Alright, on page 9, this cute pink background, the first thing you're going to need is some doilies. And if you want to be frugal and just use one, that's okay. Or you can use a couple, like we talked about, that she does. So your first doily is going to go over here on the top left and come a little bit off the page. And then out of your cutouts, we're going to use this one, and you're going to cut out right along that brown line. And again, I'm going to lay that on there, use my pencil to trace that line, and then I'm just going to cut it. And just kind of line it up. I like both methods, and it kind of depends on, I don't know, my mood or what's going on, which one I use. So, that goes there. And then we're going to put some more doilies right over here on the right side to balance it out. I'm really in love with doilies after using them on this album. Okay, and then you're going to want a photo mat, and this is from Little Miss Marie, and it is 3.5 by 4 1/4. And this one we've used an edge distressor and distressed the edge of that. And again, that's personal preference if you like your edges distressed or not. Some people have a more neat and clean look that they like. But that photo is just going to go right about there. And then we have these two cute little book labels. They say My Girl and Little Miss. And they are off the Sweet Girl sticker. And we're going to pop those up. And they're going to go right over on the left side. And then the next thing we're going to use is the jewels that I forgot to tell you that we needed. So if you don't have them and you're mad at me, turn the camera off now so that you don't get more mad at me. If you have some bling sitting around the house, which I know all of you do, then you can just add some that you have sitting around. Or save it and order you some and stick it on later. That's always a possibility. And then you can just keep sticking and sticking until you get all the bling that you could possibly want. Then you're going to want this piece out of our 12 by 12 chipboard. And it is just going to go right up at the top right corner where our photo is. And again, my photo is probably going to be in there, so I'm actually going to cut the bottom part of my, what do you call this, backing, and I'm going to just keep it on that piece so that when I put my photo on, it can tuck under. It's just going to go right there. And then when I put my photo in, I'll rip that paper off that you can see right there. So then, if you want, you can just add a little bling to the edges here. And let me show you. Tara's got some pearls there in the center, some pearls on the ends, and then some bling along the bottom. Again, I would probably wait till I have my photo on to do this one. But you could add a little bling here, here, and here. And then on the back, out of your trinkets, we're just going to use that bottom one that's a little tea party and tie a couple little bows with your string on there. And then she's actually painted hers, and she's actually flung some paint on here. It looks like she's, oh, what she's done is laid a doily down right here and then sprayed. Can you see the spray? And then flicked it with some paint. So kind of just distressed that. And then this guy's going to stick right there. And I did not bring the stuff to do that, but, oh yeah, there you go. Check that out. Difference. So she's just laid a doily down and then sprayed and flung paint. And then we're going to glue that right there. And then your album is done. All you have to do is put some rings in it and tie you a little lace and ribbon on there. And you have this gorgeous album to add some photos to. Your friends and family that see it are going to be amazed at your talent. So that is it for this week. Next month, I think I mentioned that there will only be 3 classes and each one will be a layout. And the reason there's only 3 is because we'll be previewing our new lines that are coming out for fall. And that Monday for that class will actually be one of the previews. So make sure to enter to win. And we will see you next month when we do Detour layouts. Bye!